All right, so get ready because today we're diving into The Veiled Prophet.
Ooh, okay.
It's a fan-made Harry Potter story,
Okay.
but it goes in a really dark direction.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a horror thriller.
Interesting. So, like,
I know, right?
different.
Completely different.
Yeah.
And what makes it so interesting is that it's not just like your typical fight against like Voldemort or some big bad.
Right.
It's more about like facing your inner demons, you know,
Yeah.
those whispers of doubt and fear that you can't quite shake,
Oh, I see.
even after like the big battles are over.
Yeah. That's really interesting because I think that's something that we all kind of deal with.
Totally.
Right? Like, even when you've overcome a big obstacle, there's still that little voice that lingers.
Exactly.
That's really fascinating.
And the setting plays a big role in this too.
Okay.
Hogwarts, which is usually like this safe and magical place.
Yeah.
It's not so safe anymore.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's like this chilling wind sweeps through the castle.
Okay.
Strange things start happening. You know, students acting weird, whispers in the corridor.
Oh, that's creepy.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's like the magic itself has become kind of tainted.
I see. So it's like the setting itself is kind of a reflection of what's going on.
Exactly. It's like a mirror to the character's inner turmoil.
Oh, that's so cool how the author does that.
Yeah, it's really clever how they use the familiar setting to create this sense of unease.
Right.
You know, like
Right.
something's just not right.
Yeah, like that feeling you get when you walk into a room and you know something's off.
Yes, exactly.
But you can't quite put your finger on it.
It's like that, but on a magical scale.
Oh, I get it.
And then there's Harry and Cho coming back to Hogwarts.
Oh, so they're back.
Yeah, they're both adults now, obviously.
Mhm.
But, you know, coming back to that place,
Yeah.
it's like those shadows of the past can never truly be escaped,
Especially for them.
especially for them.
Right, with everything they went through. Especially with Cedric.
Cedric's death, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot to carry.
It hangs over them.
I bet.
And, you know, the story really leans into that shared trauma.
Okay.
You can feel this kind of unspoken understanding between them.
Yeah.
Like they're both carrying this weight,
Right.
but they don't need to talk about it.
Because they both just know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's power.
It is. It adds this whole other layer to their relationship.
Oh, I bet. I can see how that would draw you in as a reader.
Chilly.
You know, make you feel that connection.
And then there's this discovery of a hidden chamber beneath the owlery.
That's an interesting place for it.
Right. Like, who would have guessed?
Yeah.
And it's filled with all these ancient runes.
Runes?
Yeah, like magical symbols.
Okay.
And they're pulsating with this weird energy.
Uh-oh.
I know, right?
That doesn't sound good.
And at the center of it all, there's this silver locket.
Ooh, a locket. Those could be tricky.
I know, you just know something bad's gonna happen. Right, like they never lead to anything good.
Never.
Yeah.
And of course, Cho being Cho, she's drawn to it.
Oh, no.
She reaches for the locket and poof, gone.
He disappears.
Vanishes into thin air.
Wow, what a cliffhanger.
I know, right?
The author knows how to hook you.
Totally. Leaves you hanging.
So what happened to her?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, where did she go?
And what's this locket all about?
And what about those runes?
So many questions.
Yeah, and that feeling of dread.
Oh, it's just getting started.
You gotta read on to find out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so keep going.
So in chapter 2, things get even worse at Hogwarts.
Worse?
How? The students start acting really strange.
Oh, no.
Yeah, like their eyes are vacant, their speech is all slurred.
Oh, wow.
It's like they're possessed.
Possessed. Like by a ghost.
Maybe, but the magic feels different somehow.
Different.
Yeah, it's ancient and malevolent.
Oh, that's not good. It's like something's twisting them from the inside out.
So it's not just physical, it's like their minds are affected too.
Exactly. It's like their personalities are being distorted.
Wow, that's scary.
I know, right?
So what does Harry do?
Well, he's Harry. So he dives right into research.
Of course.
He's trying to figure out what those runes mean,
Right.
what the locket's power is,
Mm-hmm.
and how to stop whatever's happening to the students.
It's like he's racing against time.
Totally. It's like a magical mystery he has to solve.
Before it's too late.
Exactly.
It's intense.
It is. And, you know, while he's doing all this,
Yeah.
he's also battling his own inner demons.
Oh, right. We talked about that.
Yeah, the guilt and trauma he's carried for years.
It's like he's fighting on two fronts.
Exactly. It's like a double battle.
That's a lot for one person to handle.
It is. But Harry's always been up for a challenge.
That's true.
And then He stumbles upon this legend.
A legend.
Yeah, about this ancient entity called the Veiled Prophet. And get this entity feeds on fear.
Oh, wow.
And thrives on negativity.
That's pretty dark.
It is. It's like the embodiment of all the bad stuff in the world.
So this is where the story takes a turn.
Oh, yeah. It gets real deep.
It's not just about fighting some external evil anymore.
Right. It's about the darkness within.
And how we all have that potential for darkness.
Exactly. It's like a psychological thriller now.
Wow, that's a cool twist.
It is. And then Harry finds this passage.
A passage?
Yeah, in this old forgotten diary.
Okay.
And it talks about a ritual.
A ritual? What kind of ritual?
One that needs a sacrifice to appease the Veiled Prophet.
Oh, no.
I know, right?
It's not good.
And the diary hints that the sacrifice has to be someone with a strong connection to Hogwarts.
Yes.
Someone who's faced death and come back.
Wait a minute.
I know, right?
Cho.
She fits the description.
Exactly.
Oh, my God. That's terrifying.
It is. You know, something bad's going to happen.
Yeah, you just feel it.
It's like a knot in your stomach.
Totally, like a punch to the gut.
And then the locket starts acting up.
Acting up?
How?
It's like it becomes a compass.
A compass?
Yeah, it starts pulling Harry towards the Forbidden Forest.
Oh, no, not the Forbidden Forest.
I know, right? Nothing good ever happens there.
That's true.
And it leads him to this clearing.
Okay.
It's all shrouded in this unnatural mist.
Uh-oh.
And there's an ancient altar in the center.
An altar. This is getting creepy.
It is. It's like something straight out of a nightmare.
Yeah, and I bet this is where it all goes down.
Oh, you bet.
So what happens next?
Well, we see Cho.
Oh.
But she's not herself.
What do you mean?
Her eyes are vacant. Her movements are jerky. And her voice is this hollow echo.
That's so sad.
It is. It's like whatever possessed the students has taken her over completely.
But worse.
Way worse.
Oh, God.
And then the Veiled Prophet reveals itself.
Oh, wow.
This shadowy figure, cloaked in darkness.
You speaking through Cho.
Speaking through Cho, offering power and immortality.
But at what cost?
In exchange for a sacrifice.
It's her, isn't it?
It's Cho.
Oh, my God.
Harry realizes that she's the perfect offering.
With her connection to Hogwarts and her near-death experience?
Exactly.
It all makes sense now.
It's terrifying, isn't it?
It is, to think that someone we care about could be sacrificed like that.
I know, it sends chills down my spine.
So what does Harry do?
He fights back, of course.
Of course.
He unleashes every spell he knows.
Trying to save her?
Trying to stop the Veiled Prophet.
But it's not that easy, is it?
No, it's like fighting a shadow.
Yeah.
The more he struggles,
yeah,
the stronger the entity becomes.
Oh, wow. So it's like his fear is feeding it.
Exactly. His desperation, his anger, it all just fuels the Veiled Prophet.
That's messed up.
It is. It's like this vicious cycle he can't break free from.
And Cho's trapped in the middle of it.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
So what happens? Does he give up?
Well, just when all hope seems lost,
Yeah.
in a brief moment of clarity,
Yeah.
whispers one word.
One word.
Remember. It's like a beacon of hope in the darkness.
Oh, wow. So that's the turning point.
It is. That one word changes everything.
Wow. I can't wait to hear what happens next.
It's a wild ride, that's for sure.
I bet.
You'll have to tune into part 2 to find out.
I will, definitely.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, I'm hooked.
Awesome, I'm glad.
Me too.
All right, stay tuned. Remember. It's like she's thrown him a lifeline, you know?
Yeah, it's like a spark in all that darkness.
And it got me thinking,
Yeah.
how often do we forget to just, like, remember?
That's so true.
Like, we get caught up in the moment
Mm-hmm.
and we forget the power of our memories.
Yeah, like the things that shape us.
Exactly.
And it's interesting how the author uses that word, remember.
Right.
It's not just a random word.
It's like this call to action.
Yeah, it's like she's saying, don't forget who you are.
Don't forget what matters.
Don't forget where you came from.
Exactly.
And it's not just about remembering the good times either.
Right. It's about the pain, too.
The loss, the grief.
Like, those things are part of us, too.
They make us who we are.
And I think that's what Harry realizes in that moment.
Yeah, like he needs to tap into that grief.
To find the strength to fight back.
Exactly. And that's how he defeats the Veiled Prophet, right?
Right. He uses the Patronus charm.
But it's different this time, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's not your typical Patronus.
Not all sparkly and light.
Nope. It's fueled by his grief.
Wow, that's intense.
It's like this raw, untamed power.
Like he's channeling all that pain and turning it into something else.
Exactly.
That's a pretty powerful image.
It is. And it makes you think.
Yeah.
What memories would you draw on in a moment like that?
Right. Like what experiences have shaped you?
What would give you the strength to face your own inner demons?
Because we all have them, right?
Oh, absolutely. We all have that darkness inside us.
And the veiled prophet is like a manifestation of that darkness.
It is. It feeds on fear, negativity, doubt.
All the stuff that we try to keep buried.
But it finds a way to creep in.
Like those whispers in the back of your mind.
Telling you you're not good enough.
That you'll never succeed.
That you should just give up.
It's so easy to listen to those whispers.
It is. But we have to fight back.
Like Harry does.
Exactly.
He could have given in to the veiled prophet.
Oh, yeah. The entity offered him power, immortality.
The temptation must have been huge.
It was. But Harry chose to resist.
He chose to fight for Cho.
He chose to fight for himself.
And that's what makes him a hero, right?
It's not about the powers or the spells. It's about the choices we make.
The decisions that define who we are.
And that choice, that act of defiance.
That's what breaks the veiled prophet's hold over Cho.
It's like a ripple effect.
Yeah, like one small act of courage.
Can change everything.
And I think that's a message we can all take away from this story.
Absolutely.
That even when we feel lost, overwhelmed by darkness,
we always have a choice.
We can choose to give in.
Or we can choose to fight back.
To find the light within ourselves and use it to illuminate the world around us.
It's a powerful message, and one that I think resonates with a lot of people.
Definitely. It's something we all need to hear sometimes.
Especially in times like these.
Yeah, when the world feels so uncertain.
It's a reminder that we're not alone.
That we have the strength to overcome anything.
As long as we choose to fight for what's right.
Okay, so as we move into the final part of our deep dive, I want to talk about how the Veiled Prophet connects to the original Harry Potter series.
Okay.
Because there's some really interesting parallels there.
Yeah, it's like the author took those familiar themes and expanded on them.
In a really cool way.
Right, it's like a new layer on top of the old.
Exactly, so let's dive into that.
You know what gets me about this story? It's like, it's totally its own thing.
Yeah.
But it still feels like, you know, Harry Potter.
It's true, it doesn't feel out of place. Like it fits right in with the rest of the books.
It takes those big themes, love, loss, good versus evil.
Right, the core of Harry Potter.
Yeah. And it does something new with them.
Yeah, it adds a whole other dimension.
Like a darker, more twisted version.
I like how it handles love, for example.
Oh, yeah. Love's a big deal in Harry Potter.
Huge, right? Like, love conquers all.
But in the Veiled Prophet,
it's different.
Way more complex.
It's not just the romantic kind.
Right, it's about the love that comes from shared trauma.
Like Harry and Cho.
Their bond because of Cedric.
That's what gives Harry the strength to fight.
It's powerful stuff.
It makes you think about the people in your own life.
Yeah, like who are the people who've been there for you through thick and thin?
The ones who understand your pain.
Exactly, and it's not always pretty or perfect.
No, it's messy and real.
But that's what makes it so strong.
It's like those bonds are forged in fire.
Yeah, you can't break them.
So then there's the whole idea of choice.
Whoa, choice is huge in Harry Potter.
Yeah, like Harry is always choosing between what's right and what's easy.
And the consequences are always huge.
Life or death, sometimes.
Exactly.
But in this story,
it goes even deeper.
It's not just about choosing sides anymore.
Right, it's about how you deal with trauma.
How you channel those emotions.
Yeah, like Harry could have easily given in to his grief.
Oh, for sure.
Let the Veiled Prophet take over.
And the entity even offered him a way out, right?
Power, immortality, and escape from the pain.
That's tempting stuff.
So tempting. But Harry chose to resist.
He chose to fight.
Even though it was hard.
And that's the point, right?
It's about making the tough choices.
Even when you're hurting.
Even when it feels impossible.
And that's what breaks the curse.
That one act of defiance.
It's like a ripple effect.
Changing everything.
And it gives you hope, you know?
It does. It shows that even when things are dark.
There's always a way to fight back.
We always have a choice.
We can choose to be better.
And that's a powerful message to end on, don't you think?
It is. It's something we all need to remember.
So to wrap up our deep dive into the Veiled Prophet,
I
hope you've enjoyed this journey into the darker side of magic.
It's been a wild ride, that's for sure.
It has, but it's also been thought-provoking.
Definitely. It makes you think about the big questions.
About good and evil, about love and loss.
About the choices we make.
And about the power we have within ourselves.
To overcome any obstacle.
And I think that's the beauty of storytelling, isn't it?
It helps us understand ourselves.
And the world around us.
It gives us hope.
And it reminds us that we're not alone.
So if you haven't read The Veiled Prophet yet,
I highly recommend it.
It's a must-read for any Harry Potter fan.
But even if you're not a fan,
I
think you'll find something to connect with in this story.
It's that powerful.
And that's it for this deep dive.
Thanks for joining us.
Until next time.